Essentially, forages remain the backbone of all farm systems in New Zealand, regardless of the system you're operating. And on most properties, it's likely to be at least 70 or 80% of the dry matter on offer. I think the interesting thing, particularly in today's environment, is that it's important to remember that dry matter grown through on-farm forage remains by far and away the cheapest option of all forages available. So getting the understanding, the management, the seasonality of those forages well and truly understood, there's an awful lot to offer in that space. I think the other exciting thing is, in recent times we've spent a lot of time and effort understanding some of the less mainstream or alternative forages that have got some real seasonal advantages and opportunities that they provide, and I'm talking about products like tonic plantain and choice chicory. So really just understanding what's out there, the seasonality of different forages really enhances what they can do on your property. Well, every year we bring through dozens and dozens of lines for evaluation, and those lines are evaluated right across New Zealand, and also we use Australia as a test bench as well, because with the hotter, drier environments over there, it's a fairly tough environment for ryegrass, and if we can get our forages performing in that environment, we've got more confidence about bringing them back to New Zealand. But certainly in the early stages of evaluation, that's done New Zealand wide, and then we really focus on some of the regional attributes with those products. We'll spend up to 10 years testing those varieties before they're commercialised, and we'll have every confidence in those products before we absolutely push the button the last time and go commercial with them. Both 150 and Prospect are elite varieties in New Zealand. They've performed very, very well in independent and NZ PBRA trials. Both have got a similar genetic background, where northwest Spanish material is dominant in their background, a big part of both varieties. And the thing we like about northwest Spain or northwest germplasm is that it brings again a level of robustness from a fairly challenging environment. So again, bringing that back to a more benign environment like New Zealand, it certainly brings attributes with it. Combined with the best New Zealand genetics that we've got, means that both these varieties have got a pretty powerful genetic background. Well, really it's the coming together of two great pieces of technology. AR37, without question, offers, by way of a ryegrass endophyte, offers us the broadest protection available to a ryegrass, and when you combine that with the premium genetics that sit inside both 150 and Prospect as varieties, you've got the best of both worlds. So for us, getting those two market-leading varieties enhanced with the best ryegrass endophyte that we can is a pretty powerful package. Agricom in the last few years has become very focused on fitting forages into farm systems. A few years ago we probably commercialised products with a lot of dry matter data, what that variety was capable of yielding over time. But our focus these days is very much on fitting that forage into the farm system. So what we're all about now is understanding what that farmer's requirements are, what his seasonal demands are, and then very much fitting the appropriate forage into that system so we can meet those seasonal demands or seasonal shortfalls that that farmer is likely to experience. Number one would certainly be planning. I think if you're going to embark on a regrassing program, at least a 12-month plan is required, where there is the opportunity to put multiple sprays, glyphosate type sprays, to remove the unwanted competition. The second part would be to align yourself with a company like ourselves that very much understand what your demands and requirements are likely to be. I think if you're not aligned on that page, it's likely to be a less successful program. And the third part is, just because the drill leaves the paddock today, it doesn't mean that that pasture is established. So making sure there is support in the 12 months post the drilling of that new pasture, just to make sure that we've got the establishment 100% correct and that that pasture is set up for a long productive life.